Things younger women love to hear from older men, but only when it feels real. Stoic Bloom. Have you ever wondered why some older men can completely captivate younger women with just a few simple words? It's not about looks, money, or flashy gifts. It's about saying the right things that trigger deep psychological attraction. And here's the twist. The very women who love hearing these things would never admit it out loud, but they feel it strongly. If you've ever stood across from a younger woman and didn't know what to say to keep her interested, this is the video you've been waiting for. In this part, we're diving into 6 things younger women love to hear from older men, the very words that can unlock emotional connection and intense attraction, to the point where she might want to be with you tonight. The power behind these phrases isn't just in the words themselves, but in how they speak to a woman's subconscious desires. The need to feel seen, admired, and emotionally connected to a mature, confident man. The first phrase, and it's an absolute game changer, is, "You're more mature than most women I know." Why does this work? Because it appeals directly to her ego and her need to be taken seriously, especially for younger women who are drawn to older men. When you say this, you're not just giving a compliment, you're telling her she's different, she's smarter, she stands out in a world that often treats her as inexperienced or shallow. Unlike the surface-level compliments from younger guys, this phrase shows that you see beneath the surface. You're experienced, you notice deeper qualities, you value depth. To make it even more powerful, follow up with something specific like, "I can tell by the way you talk and the way you make decisions, you have a really wise perspective on life." The second phrase, "You have an energy that ignites something special in me." It's subtle, mysterious, and deeply emotional. You're not just complimenting her, you're telling her that her bare presence awakens something inside you. That's powerful. Women are incredibly responsive to compliments that tie their inner qualities to the emotional impact they have on others. This phrase makes her feel unique and unforgettable. For maximum impact, follow up with something like, "I don't know if it's your smile or the way you carry yourself, but being around you just makes me feel alive." Use this when the conversation is flowing and there's laughter or shared energy. Say it calmly, sincerely. Pause after, maybe smile a little, and then change the subject. That mystery will linger in her mind long after. The third phrase, "I like how authentic you are." That's rare these days. This one hits different. It's not about beauty, it's not about style, it's about who she is. And when you make her feel that her personality stands out in a world full of fakes, you create an instant emotional bond. And once you create that bond, you're no longer just another guy. You become unforgettable. These are just 3 of the 6 secret phrases younger women love to hear from older men, even if they'll never admit it. And coming up next, we'll uncover the final 3, the ones that can spark a powerful connection in just minutes. Continuing from the previous phrases that stir emotion and create irresistible attraction, we now dive deeper into the next few, where true emotional bonds are formed and lasting impressions begin. When you say these words with sincerity, you're doing more than just offering a compliment. You're building a powerful emotional connection. It makes her feel truly seen and valued, something that draws her closer to you in ways she may not even realize. Why does this work so well? Because young women don't want to be appreciated solely for their looks. They crave recognition for who they are inside. When you make it clear that you notice her character, her values, her inner beauty, you immediately set yourself apart from other men. You're tapping into her deep desire to be acknowledged as unique and special. And once she feels that from you, she'll naturally be drawn to someone who values that side of her. Pro tip: pay close attention to the details and reflect them back to her. Say something like, "I notice how honest you are and how unafraid you are to show your true self. That's rare. And honestly, it's incredible." It's the kind of genuine appreciation that leaves a deep emotional impact. Before we move on, let's pause for a moment. Have you ever imagined sending just one message to a woman and suddenly she becomes overwhelmed with desire to see you? You might be wondering, what kind of message could possibly do that? I'm talking about magnetic messages, secret phrases that tap into the emotional part of a woman's mind and make her think about you constantly, even if she already has a boyfriend or sees you only as a friend. Warning, if you send this to her, she may quickly become excited and even desperate to be with you. If you're not ready for her to fall for you, don't use this message. Now let's continue with phrase number 4. There's a sparkle in your eyes that's just contagious. This type of compliment bypasses surface-level flattery and goes straight to her heart. It's intimate, it's specific, it's different. It makes her feel seen in a way that few others have ever done, and it strikes an emotional chord. Why does it work? Because it shows you're paying attention to the details that others miss. It communicates a unique emotional charm. You're not just telling her she's attractive, you're recognizing the light she brings into the world. Pro tip, add something like, when you look at someone, it's like you light up the whole room. I've never seen anything like that in anyone else. Now it feels personal, sincere, and unforgettable. Phrase number 5, you remind me how good it feels to live in the moment. This one is charming because it links her youthful energy to something universally meaningful, the joy of being present. It doesn't just compliment her, it shows how she's reignited something inside of you. Why does it work? Because young women love knowing they've brought something real and valuable into the life of a mature, grounded man. It tells her that she's more than just fun, she's meaningful. Pro tip, say something like, your vibe reminds me how great it is to laugh, enjoy, and just let go sometimes. It's honestly inspiring. That's not just flattery, that's deep respect. And it creates a connection that lingers long after the conversation ends. Now, only one final phrase remains, the one that leaves a lasting impression like no other. Up next, we'll reveal that final powerful line. After building genuine emotional rapport, after making her feel appreciated for her honesty, her vibe, and her ability to bring joy into your life, now comes the moment to elevate the connection. A bold yet elegant move. This is where your words touch not just her heart, but her curiosity, her desire, and her imagination. Phrase number 6. Just being near you makes my mind start imagining things it probably shouldn't. At first glance, it may seem daring, but in truth, this is an art. The art of suggestion without being explicit. It hints at desire, leaves space for interpretation, and creates an irresistible tension that lingers in the air. It's the kind of line that doesn't spell out everything. It lets her feel it. Why does this work? Because young women appreciate well-crafted flirting, especially when it balances sensuality with subtlety. With this phrase, you're letting her know she affects you, deeply. But you're also showing emotional control, which makes you even more attractive. It's a combination of mystery and intention, and that's magnetic. Pro tip, say this line with direct eye contact. Let your gaze linger, not too intense, but steady and intentional. Add a slight smile, almost like you're sharing a secret. And then, pause. Let the silence do some of the talking. Give her mind space to wander. You can follow up with something like, it's impossible not to think about what it would feel like if it were just the two of us, completely at ease, with no one else around. This isn't vulgar, it's evocative. It creates a scene in her mind, one she'll want to revisit again and again. When should you use this? Choose a moment when the mood is light, yet intimate. When you have already exchanged some laughter, some glances, and the tension is building. Lower your voice slightly, as if you're letting her in on something private, just between the two of you. If she responds with a warm smile, a pause, or even a playful blush, You've sparked something. Let the moment breathe. Keep the mood playful, confident, and composed. You're not rushing anything. You're creating space for something to grow. This line doesn't just flirt, it lingers. It invites her into a moment of imagination that she won't forget and places you firmly in her thoughts long after the night is over. And to close with something even more powerful. Imagine having a series of magnetic messages designed to awaken chemistry, trigger emotional attraction, and create a sense of irresistible connection, to the point where she becomes eager, even desperate, to see you again. Would you dare use them? After you've sparked emotion in her, through your gaze, your words, and your intentional silence, you begin to realize something deeper. True attraction doesn't come from trying to conquer, but from knowing how to master yourself. And that, at its core, is what Stoic philosophy teaches us, that the greatest power lies not in what we control, but in how we control ourselves. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you're speaking with a younger woman, if your focus is only on winning her over, you've already given your power away. But when you create emotion, lead with calm, suggest without pushing, and most importantly, retain control of your inner world, you stop being just another man. You become an experience she'll remember. Stoicism doesn't tell us to be cold or detached. Quite the opposite. It teaches us to feel with clarity, to allow emotion to rise, but not to let it take the wheel. When you're aware of what you're saying, why you're saying it, and how her eyes react in return, you're no longer a slave to feeling. You become the one who guides it. You don't need to be the most handsome, the richest, or the funniest man in the room. But if you have depth, discipline, and self-control, you hold something most young men don't: mature attraction. Remember this, not every woman will fall for sweet words, but most will be drawn to a man who knows what he wants, speaks with purpose, and never loses himself in the pursuit of affection. If you're on the journey of becoming your best self, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, keep going. Each day of discipline brings you closer to the version of yourself that Stoicism celebrates. Grounded, calm, confident. If this video resonated with something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts and share it with other men who are also seeking to build true strength and inner clarity. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Bloom, your home for mastering stillness, purpose, and masculine presence in a chaotic world.